portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
A 25-year-old man formerly on the run from police was taken before the courts today and arraigned in connection with a laundry list of serious offenses.
As Fri tells us, the defendant is facing a murder charge along with attempted murder and assault charges.
25-year-old Jamal Eggy Gibson in the red sweater, one of the men on the police most wanted list, appeared before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt to face a laundry list of serious charges. Gibson is accused of killing Ricardo Moss last September and attempting to kill Damian Gibbs, Asherton Barton, and Carlos Lam. The court still wasn't finished, charging Gibson with 4 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Court dockets show that on Wednesday, December 24th, Gibson assaulted 2 police corporals with a firearm, allegations he denied. Gibson also denied that he assaulted 2 civilians with a firearm last August. Following the arraignment, Gibson levied some charges of his own against the police. He claimed he was gun-butted and bitten by a dog that police let loose on him following his arrest. The 25-year-old also informed the court that he now has a shaky tooth as a result of alleged police brutality. The chief magistrate noted his complaints and requested that he be allowed to see a doctor. The case has been adjourned to July 7th, when voluntary bill of indictment papers are expected to be filed. Fri, ZNS Network News.
Well, 40-year-old James Philistine in the black and brown jacket that you're about to see, and 29-year-old Ronald Polidor in the white sleeveless T-shirt making their first appearance in the South Street Magistrates Court today. They're accused of killing Sean Kemp back on January 4th. The duo is also facing an attempted murder charge on the same date. They are accused of having an unlicensed Glock pistol, an unlicensed 9mm pistol, and 2 live rounds of 9mm ammunition in their possession. 28-year-old Ricardo Richardson in the green jacket and Devin Roll wearing the white short-sleeved T-shirt. They were also charged with accessory after the fact. The duo was accused of helping Polidor avoid the due process of the law, knowing he had committed murder and attempted murder. All of the defendants were not required to enter a plea. Bail was denied and they were remanded. Following the arraignment, Roll claimed he and his co-accused were denied phone calls to their relatives. He also claimed he was not involved in the matter. Polidor also claimed he had health issues and was denied his medication. The court noted their concerns and requested that they be allowed a phone call. She also ordered that Polidor be allowed to have his medication. They returned to court on March 23rd. And 22-year-old Michael Mackey Sr. in the green plaid shirt is behind bars awaiting trial today after being arraigned on a murder charge. Mackey, who you're seeing there on your screen now, is accused of killing Randy McNeil on December 29th. Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt did not call on him to enter a plea. A voluntary bill of indictment is expected to be filed. Bail was denied and he was remanded to prison. The case was adjourned to March 23rd.
Tonight, police are investigating the discovery of a female's partially clothed body on a beach in eastern New Providence. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Rose, said the body was discovered after 3 this morning at Yamacraw Beach in the St. Andrews Beach Estates community. When ZNS News arrived at the scene, the victim's body had already been retrieved and loaded into a waiting hearse. The victim was found lying face down in the sand on the beach at low tide. Rose said the body appeared to be in good condition, suggesting that it was not at the location longer than a day. He noted that there were no visible injuries.
We are not certain of the circumstances surrounding this discovery, but the female, I would appeal to persons who may have had a relative missing. This female is a solid built young woman, seems to be at least in her mid-30s, low haircut to medium haircut, and she was wearing a kind of fuchsia pink to lavender purplish blouse. Appears to nearby is a blue sweatsuit pants.
Police officers and a Haitian man were detained at the Haitian embassy Friday morning after a Haitian national caused an uproar and reportedly made threats because his passport was not ready. When ZNS News arrived after 10:30, gates were locked and the embassy temporarily on lockdown. From what we understand, the Haitian national called officers because he was not given his passport. In some instances, under the Geneva Convention, embassies are off limits to a host country's law enforcement agencies. Officials at the embassy say they were keeping the officers on the compound until officials from Foreign Affairs got there and to allow them to speak with Ambassador His Excellency Antonio Rodrigue. When he arrived, Rodrigue would not speak to the media, but a spectator at the embassy shared what he knew, adding that he was disappointed with one of the young officers.
Guy who applied for his passport, and then when he come here to collect his passport, they told him the passport wasn't ready yet. Now, what he gets so mad, and he start carry on in the embassy. But this place is a place where people should respect because it represents Haitian government. As a Haitian, you should talk to anyone inside to find out exactly what's going on with his passport and when he should be able to come back to collect his passport. But he probably he misunderstood. One of them is very rude. When he come here, start knocking on the door so hard and tell the lady open the door, and start carrying on so bad. One in the police. It should be example.
Well, for several days now, motorists from across the country have been irate over the low supply of inspection stickers needed to license their vehicles. Well, Road Traffic Controller Ross Smith is saying the department is now fully stocked and he's apologizing to motorists for any inconvenience they may have been caused.
They come in boxes, and so we had to separate them all. And we had asked just those persons who came in, I think on the 2nd, that was the Friday, to come back a little bit later in the week, the next week, so that we could then properly give them we can give them the correct stickers. These were persons who were born in the month of January, so they were still good until the end of the month. So that shouldn't have caused any issue with the police. And if it was, we would write a letter so that they would have to show the police in case we are the ones who are at fault.
Well, next month, Royal Fidelity will host its inaugural Bahamas Economic Outlook.
The conference seeks to educate, inform, and help the local community, including politicians and business leaders, understand the global forces that impact the lives and businesses of those who are residing and doing business here in the Bahamas.
Well, the bank's president, Michael Anderson, making the announcement at a press conference Friday morning.
Royal Fidelity Bahamas Economic Outlook seeks to draw insights from international experts to assist us to connect the dots and adapt to a new way of working that embraces the ever-present undercurrent of uncertainty. More than ever, our local economy is poised for change, with the varied impacts of opening Cuba, oil prices, and completion of Bahama later this year. There is a clear need to focus on how we can better position the Bahamas for the future.
Under the theme, Think Growth, Global Opportunities, Can We Compete? The half-day conference set for February 3rd at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort will feature a cadre of local and international speakers exploring how technology, science, finance, politics, culture, and global business shape the Bahamian economy. AML Foods Limited, Cable Bahamas, Commonwealth Brewery, J.S. Johnson, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and RBC have all agreed to sponsor this year's event.
We recognize the need for education, not only on a local scene, but also on an international scene. And from what we gather from this conference, it is going to bring an international flavor on matters that affects us all.
We also are an importing nation. And from that perspective, a lot of our fortunes and misfortunes are driven by global economic factors and events that are taking place outside of the country.
It features a very impressive, from what I've seen, a very impressive line of well sought after speakers, a great cadre of speakers that are coming in that will deal with a multiplicity of external factors that will affect us locally in the short term and the long term.
Well, coming up, a school remembers majority rule.
And a fraternity and school team up to promote the environment. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
I'm Sherelle Conliffe, and this is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap. It's an exciting time for investors to grow and expand assets, but also knowledge and understanding of investments, both locally and globally. And Royal Fidelity would like to help you even more in 2015 by hosting its first Bahamas Economic Outlook on Tuesday, February 3rd at the Atlantis Resort, Paradise Island, starting at 1 p.m. The speaker lineup includes David McWilliams, one of Ireland's leading economic commentators and co-founder of the world's only conference devoted to economics and stand-up comedy. Harvard grad, author and certified fraud examiner Pamela Meyer, and RBC Group economist for the Caribbean operations Mala Dukaran, who will explore the impact of global events on the Caribbean and specifically the Bahamas. Come and take part in an opportunity to hear what the experts say about how recent global events will impact us while networking with local and international business leaders. A new year, a new opportunity. Reserve your spot today at royalfidelitybeo.com, as this event will definitely help inform your outlook on the economy and our country's future. At Royal Fidelity, our mission is to help you create and manage wealth. So come be a part of your wealth creation. This has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap. I'm Sherelle Conliffe, wishing you a profitable week.
Faculty and students at the Garventines Primary School reflecting on the significance of majority rule during a special ceremony at the school's campus this morning.
It was back on January 10, 1967, when members of the Progressive Liberal Party won the majority over the United Bahamian Party, or UBP, setting the stage for a new era in Bahamian politics.
LaDon Davis attended the assembly.
And a celebration it was, as students of the Garventines Primary School highlighted the significance of majority rule through skit, dance, and song. A few of them share with us what majority rule means to them.
Day is basically the day we won our independence from the UBP.
And what does this day mean to you as well?
Basically means that we wouldn't have all our Bahamian rights if it wasn't for those strong people who fought during those times.
It's an important day in our culture, and it's when the black people fought to be treated fairly as the white people and to be able to vote.
I think it's when the people fought for us to have equal rights inside our country so we can have a better life.
We can live freely and be independent.
Principal of Garventines Caroline Wright Mitchell and 6th grade teacher Germania Taylor say this special assembly not only brought students and teachers together, but enhanced their knowledge about the events leading up to this big day in Bahamian history.
The students have an opportunity to parade, participate in the strike. You see the women's suffrage movement, they're all dressed up in their costume, and it's very entertaining. And that is what we plan to do, so that at the end of the day, when they leave and go back into their classrooms, they are competent and they are more knowledgeable to answer questions.
So being a 6th grade teacher is quite a tedious task for us to experience and to teach and to show and to learn and to discover along with the students. And it has been quite a journey for us to have to learn some of these things ourselves, because most of us are young teachers, and so we are not born during that time, so we had to do a lot of research to find out exactly what it meant.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for Pinewood, Kaylis Roll, visited several schools in his constituency to not only reflect on this day, but to celebrate his birthday.
I started off at CV Bethel, where they had a special assembly commemorating Majority Rule Day. And, I spoke about the process for majority rule and the fact that it was a long, arduous process spanning 25 years, and a lot of sacrifices were made on their behalf. What they have today is as a result of the sacrifices made.
Majority rule helped to usher in a new beginning not only in politics in the Bahamas, but created new aspirations for many Bahamians. And decades later, many will enjoy the fruits of the political struggle through a national holiday, which will be observed on Monday. LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
The Providence School teaming up with the Beta Lambda chapter of Phi Beta Sigma today to help make the school more eco-friendly by planting some trees on the campus. The chapter donated 2 palm trees to the school as part of the service project for the Sigmas, who are celebrating their Founders Day today. The chapter has adopted the Providence School and has been working along with the school in terms of mentoring and support. At least once a semester, the school plants trees as part of developing the students' appreciation for the environment and decided to involve the fraternities service project today as part of that ongoing thrust. The fraternity members took the time to interact with the students, who also planted some trees as well in the school's playground.
Alright, today is our Founders Day, January 9, 1914 for Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. The Beta Lambda chapter has adopted the Providence School about a year ago through our liaison, Rashad Thompson. Since then, we've done a lot of projects here and giving our time back and helping on any various means.
We, the members of Beta Lambda chapter on the campus of College of Bahamas, we adopted the Providence School as our adopted school. And today we just came to have a bit of fun with the kids, and we also planted a palm tree specifically to represent our relationship with the school, and just as a tree would grow, we hope our relationship would also grow with the school.
Planting some trees to help build the environment, teaching them about what it is to help the environment, and also educating, having a fun time here with the kids by giving back our time and service.
Now, the Beta Lambda chapter of Phi Beta Sigma is the oldest Black Greek-lettered organization on the campus of the College of the Bahamas, and just last year celebrated 10 years on the campus.
Outgoing chairman for BAIC, Arnold Forbes, says a part of his legacy will be his involvement with the creation of the Bahamas Agricultural and Marine Science Institute, or BAMSI. He says BAIC was one of the first partners in the creation of that groundbreaking institute.
We were the first entity to get on the ground in Andros and do what needed to be done to ensure that the Prime Minister's vision for that school would be realized. I think that will always be attached to this corporation. We still support BAMSI, and I believe that would be one of the crowning glories of my tenure here.